Chargers Now is presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and Chargers fans, this, of course, is why you subscribe to the channel. It's an off day at Chat Sports. We're still getting a video out to you because, well, we need to break down all the crazy news around tight end David Njoku. That, of course, is going to happen with the Chargers. He's trying out on Monday. Will I be making a video on Monday about him signing with the team? That, of course, is why you subscribe, because if news does break that David Njoku is a Los Angeles Charger, we'll make sure we get that out to you. All right, let's dive into everything that could be possibly going on here. Now, NFL insider Ian Rapoport did let us all know, of course, that David Njoku on Monday would be traveling to Los Angeles to try out with the Chargers. Why is this a big deal? Well, one, we kind of laid it out in our free agency video where I talked about the different targets that this Chargers team could go after, and I specifically mentioned Njoku. Njoku fits on this team for a lot of different reasons, and the main one is that offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel wants to run an offense where he has 12 personnel on the field as much as possible. What is 12 personnel? 12 personnel means you essentially have 2 tight ends out on the field. It's a 1 running back, 1, 2 tight ends, hence 12. Okay? So he wants to have 2 to 3 tight ends just because of the matchup nightmares they create. They add stress to the defense because a tight end is someone that the defense has to account for in the run game while also accounting for them in the passing game. And what I believe David Njoku does a great job of doing is he adds in an element that this Chargers team does not have right now, which is an excellent pass-catching option. I guess I shouldn't say that they don't have that right now, because Gadsden is a great pass-catching tight end. So I apologize. The Chargers have a great pass-catching tight end. They would now have 2. Now, Charlie Kolar is someone that could grow into being that. Obviously, he's a big name free agent signing, but he is not someone that has shown that he can do that at the National Football League level, at least not yet. What the Chargers would be doing here is having 2 legit guys who for sure can catch the ball as tight ends, while also being great blockers, while also adding in a guy in Kolar who could grow into being a great pass-catching guy, or prove that he already is a great pass-catching tight end, while also being a part of this run game. I'm going to run through the David Njoku stats, the Charlie Kolar stats, and the tight ends on this roster, and really go into greater detail about why this is a big deal for the Chargers, and they should make sure that they sign David Njoku. But first, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app. It's the best place to win cash while watching sports. With playoff basketball here, there's no better time to cash in than with our friends at PrizePicks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a PrizePicks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including points, rebounds, assists, 3-pointers, and several others across all sports. If you're more of a baseball guy or gal, you can choose stats such as hits, home runs, and strikeouts. With the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That, of course, includes me. You follow me on PrizePicks and get the picks before they even get posted on the show. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Jackson Smith-Njigba, more on his receiving yards. Sam Darnold, more on his pass yards. Matthew Stafford, less on his pass yards. New user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description of today's video. All right, so let's run through the stats right now for one David Njoku, because I know that last year's stats are down, but I still think it's important to talk about how successful Njoku was last season. He had 32 receptions. He played for the Cleveland Browns. In that time, Joe Flacco was the starting quarterback, Shedeur Sanders was a starting quarterback, and Dillon Gabriel was a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Now, you might be kind of a jerk and say, hey, Will, there's 2 Pro Bowlers that were starting quarterbacks for David Njoku. We all know that they weren't very good. He had 386 yards, but the number that I think is important is he ended up having 4 touchdowns. So he's someone that Cleveland Browns team, which wasn't good at all, decided to target in the low red zone because they know how important he is and how good of a pass catcher David Njoku is. So when you look at this team, when I look at this team, and you're telling me I can go grab another true blue red zone target, yeah, I feel pretty damn excited about it. And it's definitely a move that I want this Chargers team to make. But I'm going to ask you, should the Chargers sign David Njoku? Make sure that you reply yes or no down below in the comment section because I'm very interested in what you have to say. Now, let me continue to pitch you on why I say it should be a yes. When you look at the tight ends on the roster right now for this Chargers team, it's Gadsden and Kolar, and to me, that's really it. Because when I look at Tanner McLachlan and Thomas Yassmin, Jerand Bradley, and even Evan Svoboda, that crew, Evan Svoboda, there's a lot of guys. First of all, 2 of them on the back end are guys who are not proven, right? They are going into their rookie year. You have 2 guys that have never been better than David Njoku. Really 3 in Charlie Kolar, but there's hope that he could grow into being that type of player. And then you have Gadsden, right? Who obviously is an up-and-coming tight end and is going to have a lot of success. But in my personal opinion, this is a great opportunity for the Chargers to bring in David Njoku. He's played around the National Football League for quite some time. He's someone that still has a lot of giddy up. He's someone that's going to catch the football really well, adding in another red zone target for quarterback Justin Herbert. He fits into the scheme. He's a perfect scheme fit because he adds in an extra element to this game. He gives you an opportunity to go 12 personnel. He gives you an opportunity to go 13 personnel, which is 3 tight ends. McDaniel loves having tight ends and using them as much as possible. It's a no-brainer. If David Njoku can run onto the field and looks halfway decent at the tryout, do not let him leave the facility. He's that freaking good, man. When you look at Charlie Kolar right now, your tight end too, 10 receptions. Now he's behind Isaiah Likely and he's behind Mark Andrews, 2 really good tight ends in the National Football League. But those are 2 guys that didn't let Kolar get a lot of reps. Kolar got 10 receptions. He had 142 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good production, especially touchdown-wise for the receptions. But I'm telling you right now, when I look at this team, it is at least a letter grade better, if not more, with David Njoku. There's so much tread left on the tires. I don't know that he becomes your tight end 1, but he becomes a tight end 2. And now you're talking about between Njoku and Gadsden as one of the best 1-2 punches in all of football, the National Football League, when it comes to the tight ends. The only reason why the Chargers shouldn't sign Njoku is if he comes in incredibly fat, which he's not, right? He just isn't. The guy's a workout warrior. The guy's rocked up, jacked up. He's awesome. So the fact that Ian Rapoport is reporting that Njoku is going to be trying out for the Chargers and working out for the team, to me, this is a no-brainer. He's also not going to affect the comp pick formula. That's already set up, and it's a locked-in stone for this team. So when you look at what the Chargers are going to want to do and can do, this is not going to affect the Odafe Oweh pick. So there's no reason for General Manager Joe Ortiz to not make this signing a reality. What is your one-word reaction to the David Njoku news? Let me know down below in the comment section. Very interested in hearing what you have to say. For me personally, finally. That's my one word. Finally, the Chargers are using the money that they have available to them to go and make a potential splash signing. David Njoku is the perfect fit for this team, and the Chargers have to make this deal get done. General Manager Joe Ortiz knows what he needs to do. Hopefully, he goes out and does it. Barring Njoku coming in and looking absolutely fat and horrific, which I don't see happening, the Chargers have to sign him. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. This is why you subscribe and you have your notifications turned on. When there needs to be a video that gets out on the channel, I get it out for you. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. I cannot wait to see you next time. And make sure that you bolt up on this wonderful Sunday.